Happy Camper Radio.
It is the Happy Camper Radio Show. Hello, everybody, and happy Easter Sunday. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper, and no question about it, my friends. Hang around with us long enough, and we're going to make a happy camper out of you. It's episode 225. Daniel's in the studio. Hello,
hey,
Daniel.
All right.
Good to have you back here with us.
Yes, sir.
Did you hunt for your Easter eggs this morning?
I'm about to.
Oh, okay. You got them all colored and everything?
Oh,
Or did your wife do that for you?
Well, maybe.
Okay, you won't say. Anyway, we're going to be talking about Easter camping today.
Yeah.
Even though we're a little bit behind the times and we're here in the studio and it is Easter Sunday, we're going to make the best of it. Episode 225 of the Happy Camper Radio Show coming your way. Stick around for it.
Happy Camper Radio.
And the Happy Camper Radio Show can be heard all around the world by great listeners just like yourself. You can find us in the iTunes Store and Podbean and Myra Guide, Stitcher, the BlackBerry Podcast Directory, iHeartRadio, Google Play Music, Spotify, and now on Amazon Music. Tell all your friends to tune into Happy Camper Radio today. You can find us on the web 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at www.happycamperradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and, of course, if you want to see Daniel and I in the studio doing this show, subscribe to our YouTube channel and check it out there. Yeah, Daniel, it's going to be exciting doing these episodes on camera.
Yeah, I wore my Easter blue today.
I always tell you to, when you're doing something on camera, wear something colorful.
That's what I did.
You take things to the max.
Oh, boy.
But anyway, did you ever go camping on Easter?
Oh, yeah, all the time. So, we live down in Georgia, obviously, if y'all have been listening to us for a while. And there's a place down near Columbus. It's called Callaway Gardens. And there's a state park near there. It's called Fdr State Park, because back in the 30s, when FDR was getting his polio treatments, he went down to Warm Springs to get his treatments for polio, and so we have a state park named after him. So anyway, we'd go down there almost every Easter, and we'd do the whole thing. We went to Callaway Gardens. They'd have Easter egg hunts. They had these little marshmallow Easter eggs that my dad loved more than anything. But they had a bunch of Easter egg hunts, and, we'd get our little baskets and stuff. And there was this one time when we were there, and, we hadn't seen the Easter bunny. And my parents were like, well, maybe you should go to the bathroom real quick. And when we came back, there was all the candy, all the baskets, and I always wondered where they packed all that stuff, because I never saw it when we went down there. And then all of a sudden they're like, go over there for a second. And then they're like, oh yeah, the Easter bunny was just hopping down the road. And we're like, hey.
He had a big knapsack. Obviously.
He did a big knapsack for us. And I was like, oh my goodness. And, other Easters later on, we'd go up to my parents' place up in LJ, and what we would do is me and my sister would go to the bathroom down the way, and my parents would hide eggs, on our little camping lot, and we would come back and Easter egg hunt. Then I mean, I love Easter egg hunts. I would do it today if I could, but we probably Easter egg hunt until I was about 16, 17. I love it.
I am sitting here listening to you, and I am extremely jealous, because I have to admit, even though I'm the host of this show, I have never camped on Easter.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, as a kid, and I think the reason for that is because our family, we have a very religious background.
Uh-huh.
All right. And even though my grandparents took us camping when we were kids, and they would rent that Scotty trailer and off we would go somewhere. My grandmother, if it was Sunday, it didn't matter what was going on. You would put on your best suit and she would haul you to church.
Oh, we did that. We went to a Catholic church down there in Pine Mountain. That's the city that's near. and we would go to church every Easter Sunday, do the whole thing. We'd get up very, very early because it's a very small church, and back when we were going, I was still going to like the little daycare and stuff, and they had little things for us to do like coloring and stuff and all that, and they'd give us Easter eggs and stuff. But we went to church, we dressed up, but then after that it was off to the races with the Easter eggs and the baskets and the candy and everything. It was great.
Well, a lot of these private campgrounds, they're privately owned. I'm sure they are planning way ahead and taking reservations and making sure that the Easter Bunny is there.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and because of these kids, you've got to keep them busy.
Yep.
You don't have children of your own. I remember when my kids were growing up. If you don't come up with things to keep them busy, they're going to find things to do, okay? And that might mean running around a campsite with horseplay and knocking things over. They're going to keep busy. They've got a shot of adrenaline in them, and I'm too old to remember what I was like at that age.
Well, usually, actually, speaking of down there, because we went down there a lot, and that's where I learned to ride my bike. And when I was a kid, you always say to keep kids busy. When I was a kid, I had to figure out what to do. I would ride my bike. I went to the playground. I'd get a fishing pole or something, and I would do that. I found stuff to do. I'd go hiking in the woods. I'd follow a trail. I'd follow a stream. I'd just be exploring everywhere. But that's what I did back then.
Yeah. I can remember, and of course, you can get very creative at the campground with coming up with games and things. And one of the things, and we're talking about eggs here. I remember as a kid, we used to go to a family reunion every year. And of course, our parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles and everything, they're long gone now. And so has the reunions. But as a kid, I remember going to a reunion one time, and this one particular child, I faintly remember her. She wasn't a member of the family, but I think she was a friend of a family member. But I hooked up with her, and we got to play in the games, and all of a sudden, they decided they were going to do the egg toss.
Okay.
Now, the egg toss is one of these games where you have a partner, and you're face-to-face with that partner, and they give you a raw egg. And you toss the egg to your partner, and that partner takes a step backward. They toss the egg to you, and you take a step backward. The whole idea here is once that egg breaks, you're disqualified. And whoever has an egg in their hand whenever the game is over is the winner. And they would have prizes and things like that. And this one particular game that we played, my younger sister, who she always had egg on her face. All right. She ended up standing behind me, and this girl was way off in the distance. She tossed the egg. I thought I had it, and I'm looking, and there's egg yolk coming right between my fingers, and yep, we're disqualified. I'm looking at her. She is holding her stomach, pointing her finger in my direction, laughing like crazy. What is so funny? I mean, it's not like the egg landed on me.
Right.
I turn around, and there's my sister right there with egg on her face.
Oh, boy.
Now, my mother, she would be the one to think that I did that on purpose. Okay.
You were the oldest.
Yeah, I was the oldest. I took the blame for everything. But that is one game and one day that I will never forget. But, this is something that you can play with your kids at a campground. Just color that egg, right? Color all the eggs and have your kids do the egg toss and let that egg break. Just make sure you don't put that raw egg in the Easter basket later on. Okay, don't get them mixed up.
That would be weird.
Yeah,
I love dyeing eggs. We used to dye the eggs back in the day.
We did too.
That was a lot of fun.
We dyed them the night before Easter and had no idea that they were going in the Easter basket.
Oh, wow.
And, and the next morning, we all got up and the Easter baskets were hid. And we had to go find them.
Yeah. Wow.
And I can't remember how many times that I took candy out of my brothers and sisters' Easter basket and promised to return them and never did. But it happened every year.
What was your favorite Easter candy?
Oh, I love chocolate.
Okay.
I love chocolate.
Like the bunnies? Like
yeah, the bunnies. I mean, as long as they had they were made by Hershey.
Okay. Well, you were from
love the
Pennsylvania,
Hershey candies,
so
yeah. Mhm.
you couldn't eat anything but Hershey up there.
There was one time when I was a young kid that our school went and visited the Hershey factory.
Oh, nice.
I think I was in the 5th grade at that time.
Wow.
And it was a long haul from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania over to Hershey. We took the bus and it was like a 4 or 5 hour trip.
Ooh.
But back then, this was before everything became computerized.
Yeah.
They were mixing up chocolate in these big bathtubs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was back in the day. Everything now was computerized, and but the chocolate still tastes the same.
Yeah.
It just tastes absolutely delicious. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of games that you can play with kids, even at the campground.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually take rocks and dye them.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah.
Yeah, and you know
We did
something?
that.
Right. And and attach strings to them somehow. Maybe hang them from trees or hang them from your tent or your RV or whatever. And decorate your campground in an Easter format, just like you would if you were going camping on Christmas.
Yeah. Well, I remember when we'd go down to Disney a couple times, and we stayed at the campground at Disney, and people would decorate for Halloween like crazy. So I'm sure they're decorated for Easter and Christmas, and you don't see as much decoration for Easter, but I remember earlier on we used to decorate a bunch of stuff, but I don't know. I guess times have changed a little bit.
Yeah, but you say that though, and you think about the past, and you think, wow, wouldn't it be nice to relive that?
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah.
And here I am talking about Easter with you today. Never went Easter camping, but I'm not going to rule it out for possibly next year.
Oh, yeah.
Even if I'm camping by myself, if I went to a campground and just sat by the fire and maybe looked at my, what's going on over at my neighboring campsites and just seeing the kids having a wonderful time,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, that would be icing on the cake for me.
Oh, yeah. That is nice.
And maybe I could talk you in the better half into coming camping on Easter.
Maybe, hopefully.
Well,
I get some time off work.
you've got more time than I've ever had when I was working. I just wonder where you got all that vacation time built up at. I've never been able, in my entire career, been able to generate that kind of time. But, hey, I'll tell you what, folks, if I can get Daniel to go out on Easter and go on a camping trip, I just might find a way to rent a bunny rabbit outfit for
There
him.
you go.
Okay, and put big ears on Daniel.
Yeah.
And, I'll even bring the cameras along. All right.
Oh, boy.
You'll be in an internet sensation.
Yeah. It'll go viral.
Absolutely. But I think back at the times that wouldn't it have been nice to be able to go camping on Easter? And but no, we were in church, and we were always at home, and we had the Easter baskets at home, and it was just we had fun.
Yeah.
But
I remember another time we would, but this was when I was super young. We would have a Easter egg hunt in the back of my aunt's house, and some of the eggs had money in them. I never got the money. My older cousins always got the ones with the money. I got the ones with the jelly beans or whatever. And
how did that happen? Did they have little dollar signs on the?
No, they had dollar bills inside the plastic eggs that you would find. And
I would think you'd be able to sniff those out real quick.
Well, my skills weren't as honed back then as they are now, but I'm a lot better at finding money today. So
Now, I'll tell you, I was talking just a little bit ago about, doing some Easter egg hunts maybe at night.
Mm-hmm.
I went online before we did the show today, and I saw that Amazon sells these glow-in-the-dark Easter eggs.
Ah, interesting.
And you can get like about 144 eggs for about $40.
Okay.
That's, and if, hey, I didn't read too much into the article, but I mean, if it's one of these things that you can use year after year, it might be a worthwhile investment.
Yeah.
Because you can save them not only for your kids growing up, but you can pass that on to when your grandkids, come into this world and have fun out there Easter egg hunting with them at night.
Yeah.
Think about that for a moment. You do your Easter egg activities during the day, and I'm sure the campground has all kind of things that they plan for the kids, in addition to whatever you're planning. But to wind down the evening, maybe after dinner when the sun goes down, while you're sitting around the fire, go on there and hide those glow-in-the-dark Easter eggs.
That'd
They're
be
not going to be
fun.
hard to find.
Yeah.
All right, But to think of the fun the kids
That
can
would be
have
fun.
with that. Wow.
You know what's really fun that I remember when, so I said earlier that my parents would hide Easter eggs around the campground. They didn't know how many Easter eggs they put. And sometimes, like years later, I would find an egg that we didn't find. I'm like, oh my goodness, look at this. And it would be like 2 or 3 years later that I'd find an egg that we never found from Easter of, a couple of years before.
Please don't tell me that you peeled that egg open.
No.
Oh,
Well, I mean, it was one of the plastic eggs.
Oh, plastic.
So, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Oh no, that we never used like real eggs. We always had the plastic eggs. They'd have candy in them, and like I said before, sometimes they'd have money in them. But yeah. So
no, there was
fun.
there was always real eggs when we went Easter egg hunting, and after we, did our Easter egg hunt at the house, we always went over to my paternal grandparents' house.
Mm-hmm.
And they hid Easter eggs outside, and they were the real ones.
Ah.
Yeah. And
Did you eat the eggs?
yes, absolutely.
Eat the hard-boiled eggs.
The whole boiled, not with the shell. Okay.
Obviously.
Yeah, took
I
the
love
shell up,
hard-boiled eggs.
Oh, I'll tell you, I started with the salt and pepper, enjoyed that. Later on, put the hot sauce on it. Now, I wouldn't do that to the kids. All
Yeah.
right, but unless they had a, my baby sister, the one that got hit with the egg.
Yeah.
She loved the hot food.
Oh, nice.
She would put that hot sauce on there in just a
It's
heartbeat
really
of a minute.
good.
Yeah.
It's really good. Like, what other kinds of food did y'all eat on Easter? Like, what kind of?
Well, ham comes to in mind right
Yeah.
away. Of course, that was for lunch and dinner.
Mm-hmm.
But we had scalloped potatoes and
Okay,
just
yeah.
traditional kind of meals. For
Yeah,
Thanksgiving, and those are the kind of meals you can also prepare at camp.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. We would have baked beans, deviled eggs, and potato salad and ham. I love potato salad.
Now, for camping, that sounds like a breakfast meal to me. Yes. Oh yeah. I think of the times that we went up camping up in Hiawassee.
Yeah.
And I brag about all the time when I go up there with the guys. Now we're getting off Easter here a little bit, but we would go up there, and usually a Saturday or Sunday morning breakfast would consist of baked beans, potatoes, potato salad. We would have eggs and hash browns mixed in there too. But
Yeah.
that was a campground meal.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Skip and Daniel.
All right.
Now I'll tell you, Daniel, I'm just getting wrapped up into this Easter thing right now, just sitting here talking to you, because I really haven't talked about things like this in a long, long time.
Yeah, it really brings up some memories.
It brings back some memories, and I'm just sitting here talking about the grandparents. I totally forgot about that, and I hadn't thought about that for years.
That's cool.
But the neat thing about it was that I can't remember a time on Easter that it actually rained. And
I can't either.
Yeah, and the weather was always good.
Yeah.
I got word yesterday it was supposed to rain all day today, and you pull in the driveway, the sun is out, and
Yeah.
and
It was a little foggy, but yeah, I don't think it's ever rained on Easter. I can't think of, but I guess we have good luck down here.
Well, we're doing our best, but now's the time to start planning for maybe next year. If you want to go camping on Easter, just keep this show in mind. Keep it in your memory banks and tune into it every now and then if you really want to get the adrenaline flowing.
Oh yeah.
You want to get the kids all excited. Watch this episode, listen to it, listen to the podcast, and you'll get yourself all pumped up. But you've got to remember too that if you're going to plan on camping on holidays like this,
Yeah.
make your reservations
Oh, definitely.
far in advance.
Definitely.
So you make sure you have a spot available, because I can assure you right now that a lot of these campgrounds, especially the private campgrounds that do plan these Easter activities, are going to be booked solid well in advance. Now would
Definitely.
be the time to start thinking about what you're going to do for the 4th of July.
Oh yeah.
And we'll be talking about 4th of July camping with the fireworks and all this other stuff, and the kids love those too.
Oh yeah, they
So
do.
yeah, you want to get your reservations in as early as you possibly can. And again, folks, you don't have to drive 200-300 miles unless there's a specific area that you want to go ahead and visit that you haven't been there in a while. Last episode, we talked about the gas prices being as high as they are. Hopefully, they're going to come down soon.
Yeah.
And you can go ahead and venture out and put your vacation plans in place. For those of you who have been working from home, I'm sure you're dying to get out of the house anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So get your reservations and everything in order, and you'll have a great opportunity to take in some camping this coming summer.
Yep.
So, what's your camping plans now, Daniel?
I want to go somewhere. I just haven't decided. We got to figure certain things out. We might be doing something in May, but I'm not sure. I don't know.
Are you finally going to get that camper out of the garage?
I need to. It's been sitting there for way too long.
It's been sitting there just like my camper has been sitting over at my rental property for the longest time that I've got to get that over here.
Yeah.
I got to get that thing fixed up.
Yeah.
But that's good. That's going to be a fun project too. And I'm just so concerned that I'm going to deck it out so nice that I won't want to get rid of it. But I tell you, I'll never forget the cost in gasoline.
Yeah.
I took some long distance trips with that. And back when I bought that camper, Daniel, gas was under $1 a gallon.
I remember.
That was 1998.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'd made a couple trips to Pittsburgh up in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and but it ate up a lot of gas. I hate to think for what gas costs today, how much it would tear my gas tank up, or not.
Yeah.
Not besides that, just beside my wallet. Yeah. But I'm hoping to get some camping in here real soon. I haven't done it in a while because I've made this move recently, and and then the tragic loss of my daughter, about a year ago, and that's still weighing in. We've got court dates coming up, and there's going to come a time that I'm going to have to put that to rest.
Yeah.
And but it's not something that I would wish on anybody, But you got to keep yourself busy. And, I keep myself busy here in the studio. I every now and then break out my camping gear and go through it. And that's my relief factor right there.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
that really helps out a lot. But I can remember Easter egg hunting with Kelly and Robin.
Yeah.
Years and years ago when Mom was still around. It's amazing how time flies. And,
yeah.
folks,
does.
you're not going to be around here forever.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're a parent and you've got young kids, take advantage of as much opportunities as you can with them and stay busy with them. Build those memories. And by all means, bring your camera, bring your video camera. I have got tons and tons of pictures that I went through this past week.
Yeah.
Just looking at, with the kids and what they've done. And I have got a monstrous case of VHS tapes.
Oh, boy.
That I haven't viewed in years. And I'm looking forward at some point when I have a little break here in time to actually turn those things and make them digital.
Yeah, convert them over.
I can share that not only with my, my local friends and family, but long distance relatives too, because they're reliving memories just like I do.
Yeah.
So
that's always nice.
So, definitely, folks, if you're into Easter egg hunts, if you still got young kids and you want to go camping, don't do like I did growing up and not go camping. You definitely want to go camping yourself. And by all means, make those reservations ahead of time like we talked about, and you'll make sure that you'll have an opportunity to go camping too. It's time now for our featured campground of the week right here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Happy Camper Radio.
Daniel, I believe not too far back I mentioned the Blue Ridge Mountains, didn't I?
Yeah.
There is a place up here that I'm surprised I haven't talked about this before.
Uh-huh.
In the Blue Ridge Mountains, part of the George Washington and Jefferson National Forest. If I ever make that long-distance trip, if I'm ever going to go to Pittsburgh to visit family, I'm going to bring my camping gear along because this is going to be right there along the way. It's the Sherando Lake Recreation Area Family Campground. The Sherando Lake Recreation Area's Family Campground provides an ideal camping destination. It's situated in the Blue Ridge Mountains and is known locally as the Jewel of the Blue Ridge Mountains, where visitors enjoy hiking, picnicking in the shade, fishing in the lakes, swimming, or relaxing on the sandy beach. And this is one of those campgrounds, Daniel. It's not a first-come, first-served campground. You've got to make your reservations.
Okay.
And you can do that if you have a recreation.gov account. You can make your reservation right there online. And they've got a phone number here if you want to go ahead and call it in. It's 877-444-6777. The campground is divided into 3 loops. They have the Meadow Loop, which is Loop C, the River Bend Loop, Loop B, and they have campsites with electrical hookups, which are suitable for larger camping units and RVs.
All right.
The White Oak Loop, Loop A, has non-electric campsites, and that's where you'll find me. And it's suitable for tents and camping units less than 20 feet in length. They've got a lot of information right there on their website, and we're going to have a link to it all week long right here on Happy Camper Radio. Check out some of the activities. Wildlife viewing, that's one of my favorites. Hiking, which is yours.
Yep.
Fishing, camping, accessible swimming, canoeing, day use, kayaking.
Ooh.
And, yeah, they've got a whole lot of activities right there, and I want you to check it out. Right there on our website, you'll find the link to it on happycamperradio.com. And, folks, speaking of recreation.gov, if you don't already have a recreation.gov account, here's your chance to sign up. Look for that little blue label right there at the top of the page, right next to login. It says sign up. It doesn't cost you a dime to do that. And anytime you go camping and use a recreation.gov campground, using recreation.gov's website makes your reservation process go a whole lot easier. I've got an account. I've used a number of recreation.gov campsites over time, and I'm going to be using them again very, very soon. So if you're going to plan on a camping trip and you happen to be in the Blue Ridge Mountains or you've got that destination on your radar, you want to consider the Sherando Lake Recreation Area Family Campground. It is our featured campground of the week right here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
HappyCamperRadio.com.
And if you have a campground that you would like for us to feature on the program, get in touch with me, Skip, S-K-I-P, at HappyCamperRadio.com. Or if you want to interview the guy or talk to the guy in the blue shirt
There we
today,
go.
you can talk to him at Daniel at happycamperradio.com. Email either one of us. We'll get back to you. And definitely let us know what you're doing out there as far as camping.
Oh,
because,
yeah.
if you want to be on the show, hey, get in touch with me. And we'll make that happen real soon. And we got one of your friends coming back on the program
We
here in
do.
a couple of weeks.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Rose, who has that wonderful book out.
Uh-huh.
I'm still trying to find time to go through all that. Yeah. But, if you want to talk about camping, if you want to get in touch with Daniel and be on the show, definitely get in touch with us. Well, Daniel, that's going to wrap up this edition of the Happy Camper Radio program. And I am looking forward to another episode coming up real soon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Remember, friends, every pet, including the one here below my feet that cannot stand Daniel, every pet deserves a loving home. Do like I did. I want you to go to your local shelter and adopt a pet today. You can find us on the web 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at www.happycamperradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Happy Camper Radio Show is a presentation of Skip Huber Productions. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper. Daniel's a happy camper.
Yeah.
And you better believe it, friends. Hang around with us long enough. We're going to make a happy camper out of you. We'll talk to you again real soon. Have a good one, everybody. Happy Easter to you. This is Happy Camper Radio.
Happy Camper Radio.